Welcome to The Explainer. Look, we are witnessing a fundamental shift in leadership right now, one that could very well dictate your ultimate job stability. Today, we're diving into how the absolute best CEOs are quietly using AI strategically. Because while most teams are busy just using it to, write emails or summarize some meetings, top executives are out there building a competitive advantage that is practically impossible to beat. It's not about learning some fancy new prompts, it's a complete ground-up mindset shift in how leaders at the highest level actually leverage this technology. And it all boils down to this one exact question, the million-dollar question that separates the folks looking for incremental efficiencies from the ones driving straight-up exponential growth. For a lot of leaders, their entire future might depend on answering this correctly. Are you just managing AI, or are you actually leading with it? Are you letting it handle your routine chores, or are you utilizing it to pioneer entirely new frontiers for your business? To really unpack this, we're going to hit 5 key areas today. 1. The AI leadership divide. 2. Escaping the manager's trap. 3. The cost of pilot purgatory. 4. The CEO's AI playbook. And finally, 5. Automation versus transformation. All right, let's jump right into section 1. The AI leadership divide. Managing versus leading. So there's this massive divide in how people are viewing AI today. On one side, we have what we call the manager's view. This basically treats AI like a universal intern, right? A clever little assistant for small productivity hacks. Drafting marketing copy, cleaning up code, writing emails. It's all about doing the exact same stuff you've always done, just a little faster and a little cheaper. But on the flip side, we have the CEO's view. This is where AI is treated not as a basic tool to check off tasks, but as a true partner, a partner used to redefine the very nature of your work and drive massive exponential growth. Which brings us to section 2. Escaping the manager's trap, and the very real danger of those small wins. Think about it like this. It's literally like being handed the keys to a spaceship, and you use it to drive down to the grocery store. It's crazy, right? But that perfectly captures the absurdity of the manager's trap. You're moving, sure, and your productivity charts might even show a neat little bump. Managers absolutely love that bump. But the reality? You aren't really going anywhere new. You're completely missing the chance to redesign how work gets done and create brand new value. And that leads right into section 3, the cost of pilot purgatory, the heavy cost of stalling out. Industry analysts are actually calling this AI Pilot Purgatory. It's that quiet, awkward disappointment happening in boardrooms everywhere right now. A lot of leaders feel like they are investing heavily in AI. They bought the licenses, they have the tools in the building, but the game-changing returns just haven't materialized yet. It creates this incredibly dangerous illusion of progress. Everyone is super busy experimenting with scattered proofs of concept, but true company-wide transformation, it's completely stalled out. So why exactly does this happen? Well, when you layer a hyper-powerful new tool on top of a weak foundation, you don't magically get transformation. What you get instead is a much faster way of exposing your own internal roadblocks. We're talking broken processes, messy data, ancient technology, skill gaps, and a total lack of clear strategy. The real danger here isn't that your AI projects fail, it's actually that they succeed just enough to keep you endlessly occupied fixing these foundational cracks, all while your competitors are pulling away for good by rebuilding their entire business models around AI. Okay, let's pivot to the solution in section 4, the CEO's AI playbook. This is all about leadership strategy. This playbook comes down to 3 core principles. And implementing these requires a major shift in mindset, from merely managing tasks to fundamentally reinventing how your company operates. The best leaders use this exact framework to cross the chasm. Let's break these down one by one, starting with Principle 1. So Principle 1, a top CEO isn't asking AI to write a basic memo for them. No way. Instead, they feed it their own drafted strategy and ask a tough, targeted question to pressure test their ideas. Like, what are the 3 weakest arguments in this document? They are shifting from seeing AI as a tool to do work to a partner that actively improves their critical thinking. They're treating it like a 24/7 confidential sparring partner. Just imagine being able to instantly find blind spots and check your own biases before a high-stakes decision ever sees the light of day, simply by asking, what would my biggest skeptic say about this? Or they might throw a curveball like, how could our main competitor use this against us? While the manager uses AI to get work done faster, the CEO asks these types of targeted, strategic questions to get their thinking right. It isn't about replacing executive judgment at all. It's about making that judgment significantly sharper. That is a completely different level of leverage. Taking that first principle even further, executives are actually simulating an entire, highly diverse board of directors. You can prompt the AI to take on very specific personas. You want a risk-averse CFO checking for budget scrutiny? You got it. An aggressive CMO analyzing market trends? Done. A skeptical engineer hunting for structural flaws? Easy. This ensures that any new idea survives a dozen rounds of data-backed criticism, forecasting, and scenario modeling before it ever reaches your actual human team. All right, moving to Principle 2, redefining workflows. There is a massive difference between merely slapping AI onto old processes, which is basically just adding a co-pilot, versus totally redesigning those workflows from the ground up, redesigning the cockpit, if you will. The CEO raises their sights from the task level to the workflow level. They ask what can be done now that was literally impossible before, intentionally changing their processes and rules to support a brand new way of working. And that brings us to Principle 3, leadership as the catalyst. Because culture totally starts at the top. The most effective leaders demonstrate AI's value personally. When employees see their CEO openly using AI in meetings, pointing to data-driven insights for decisions, or pushing hard for better data governance and training, it creates a powerful virtuous cycle. It signals to everyone that this isn't just some side project. It transforms AI from something the company has to something the company fundamentally is, becoming a true force multiplier for everyone involved. Let's bring it all together in Section 5, automation versus transformation, the ultimate choice. Because look, the divide in the age of AI, it really isn't about the technology. It is entirely about perspective. The gap between these two mindsets is rapidly becoming an unbridgeable chasm. Managers are playing a game of inches. They're stuck in automation, just chasing small incremental gains. But CEOs, they're playing a completely different game altogether. They are operating in transformation mode, sharpening their own judgment, redefining workflows, and leading a massive cultural shift. The future of your organization doesn't depend on if you adopt AI. That ship has completely sailed. It depends entirely on how you adopt it. The future is already here, folks, so the choice is yours. Will you settle for chasing small efficiencies while your foundation cracks? Or will you embrace the CEO's playbook to build a real, lasting advantage? Pick one principle from this explainer, start acting on it today, and decide right now how you will adopt the tools that are reshaping the entire future of business.